Charlene and Nirmal,
Yes, sir. Good evening.
good evening. Shall we start then?
Yes, sir.
Because only four of us. I think that is the standard always. Okay. So actually, many students they requested me to give some overview about how to write a project synopsis and also how to write a project report. So these are two very important component of this program because this is the applied side of this program. Whatever you study theoretical things, here you are applying this, and this is a kind of transit, you can say transition from MA to PhD or MPhil. There is no MPhil now, but this kind of project work will help you to do better research in future. And there is no end actually. PhD, many of you are doing PhD also, but to learn few technique and new research, always it will sharpen your, creativity, mind, research, whatever, you have analytical skill, all this it will enhance. So today I'll be talking about this. Let me just, start with what is research. In fact, Manish is there, Nirmal and settling. What is research? You all know we cannot talk like journalist or politician or many other layman. Research needs some systematic investigation, okay, into any study of any material resource. It can be based on historical archival material. It can be based on the society, the life experience of the people. It can be based on anything. If it is science, on based on material experiment. So all those things. So research refers to a search for knowledge. Usually we use research, okay, because everything is there actually in this universe. We don't know, that's why we have to research, we have to search it, research, okay. Otherwise, even the knowledge also is there. We talk about discovery, innovation. Nothing is like new, but all are is there already. But somebody perceive it, somebody could visualize it, somebody could find a way to know that. That's why we call research. Research means a scientific and systematic research for pertinent information on a specific topic. And whatever, whenever you feel some doubt, you can ask me, interrupt me. Okay? What is research? Research is an art of scientific investigation. The purpose of research is to discover answer to question through the application of scientific procedure. In fact, why I am talking all these things, you have a project component. If you go through that, which MIDP one, this is 8 credit, course, and you have to do some kinds of field work or some kinds of content analysis, some kinds of review of literature to write that. So there are variety of research actually, but these 3-4 things you can do during MA time with the cost-effective manner and with your resource, whatever time and all this allows you. So scientific research is the systematic investigation of scientific theories and hypotheses. A hypothesis is a single assertion, a proposed explanation of something based on available knowledge or something yet to be explained. Okay? Why do we need a research proposal? Anybody can say? We talked about this is research, this is this. Why do we need a research proposal? Manish, Sherlin, Nirmal, anybody? What is a proposal? You common sense we use proposal. What is proposal?
So
Anybody?
we need a research proposal in order to put forth our ideas and figure out if they are viable or worthy enough to research further.
Yes, viability we see. It is also plan of action, you can say, proposal. Okay. Within time bound manner. Suppose you have time for 3 months, you prepare proposal based on how much you can do field work, how much sample size, how the chapterization. It actually a framework. It is a kind of systematic planning, visualizing what you can do. Okay. So that is the main purpose is a viable and reasonable problem, acceptable plan of action for understanding research, rational for the research, and a feasible chance of completing the research. If you have a big plan and you have no time and no research, no resource, you cannot do. In a big plan, you cannot implement in a short time without resource. So we have to think if you are doing a project, for PG diploma, you have 1 month, 1.5 months time in hand. So how much you can do? What are the resources you can access actually quickly? So those kind of criteria you have to think. I think all of you are doing project or anybody is not doing project. Serlin?
So I have opted for the project work.
Okay, so you be attentive. Manish is not there. Nirmal. I think 3, 4 of you are doing project, so that's why this will be very relevant for you. Okay. So research proposal. In fact, in this PG diploma, I personally feel 1 or 2 pages, but real research proposal, if you do for PhD or some project funding, 5 to 6 pages usually they ask. But for PhD diploma, you little prepare for 2 pages maximum. So research proposal is a concise and coherent summary of your proposed research. It set out central issues and questions, outline general areas of study, review, examine the current state of knowledge. If research proposal is good, the research outcome will be better. Okay? Usually we prepare a proposal, visualize, plan and everything because that proposal saves our time, resource, our everything, feasibility it enhances. Maybe many of those components maybe will not work in actual field when you come back, but you always, that helps you to visualize the issues, challenges, resources, field you also visualize. Many things change when you do actual research, but this is all helpful also. So writing research proposal is writing a research proposal, both science and art also. Why science and art? It has both components. You see, when you think of certain issues, you also creativity to apply. Okay. For example, we are going to a marketplace. Okay. You think how the class nature of the people, population community is working, how the status is working, how the culture is working, many aspects which you actually use creativity in innovative mind to create a sense of that. That's why you also interpret the symbols they use. You also see how in what context they're interacting. So many, qualitative things also used, which are not very scientific, but it has certain kind of, creative aspect. Okay. So it has both when you do quantitative analysis, systematic, cause and effect analysis, science side will be very strong. But when you think about some kinds of perspective, some kinds of, symbolism, so their art will come. So it has both sides. Okay. A good research proposal is based on scientific fact and the art of clear communication also. Okay. When you write a research project, You have to just, you have to see the community you are writing. Even anything you do, if you cannot communicate well in writing or speaking and all, many of your knowledge will be useless. Okay? Because that aspect is very important, how very, effectively you communicate. That's why the language aspect and all these are very important, that you will know when you write something, anything you write. Okay? Let me talk about the structure of a research proposal. Actually, research project also, but proposal will have many of these components. Any proposal you prepare, even 2 page, 5 page, or whatever, it will have a title. Okay. Then it may have, clarification of basic concept, terms, and theories. If you don't have, proper more space, you need not to do that. But another important thing you should always keep in mind: statement of research problem. This is very important. And then background to the research problem. Why you are doing this? Okay, many of will be doing certain kind of how the remittance, for example, is impacting the family. Okay, you have to see how remittance, what is remittance, who context of remittance, who are sending remittance, all those things you have to bring a background. Okay, then you have to see literature review. What are the studies already done in that area? Based on that, you may have certain kind of, pre-assumption, hypothesis. Okay. Then you plan for certain objective for your study research. Okay. Then you do research designing, then methodology, what you apply. Many people in this program especially will be doing mixed method like qualitative and quantitative. Some of you may do simply content analysis, some of you may do participant observation, some of you may do both sides little bit. Okay. So there are many ways to do. Okay. Then the limitation and delimitation, usually both are one way, complementary. You usually have to limit your study. Okay. What kind of time limit, resource limit, kind of, area you are covering, like what we are not covering, what we are covering. That clarity should be there. Then significance of the study. Then expected outcome. Usually in the academic, we don't talk about that. But if it is a policy or something government sponsored or any sponsored project, always they prefer to have some outcomes. Okay. Then every project also should have references, summary, and keywords. This is the structure you should keep in mind when you write a project synopsis. Okay. That has to be approved by the program coordinator, and then you start your work. So this is the procedure. I think I'll be talking few things more elaborately, but if there is any question also, I can answer. Okay. So let me talk about the title. First one is title. Okay. Title, how one should give a title. Because most of many scholars, they think I'll give a very long title. Some of many think I should give a very broad title. But I think the best way is to see how the title is very communicative and it should be very focused. Okay. If you have like a Bollywood movies in diaspora, somebody may write, they have to specify. Okay. What kind of, Bollywood movie? There will be hundreds of movies with the diaspora thing. You have to specify gender in Bollywood movie in the diaspora, maybe something like that. If 2-3 specification will be there, it will be very good. Otherwise, you take themes in the 1980s or Hindi, particularly one movie you take and completely dig detail into that. So those kind of things will give you more specificity and you can explore better and better. If you take broad area, you will be nowhere because many issues are there to cover. So your objective won't be focused. your entire thing, you will be lost actually in a sea of information, literature and all. You may not find a direction. So that's why it should be concise and it should be very meaningful, and it should be also approved by the like program coordinator and all those titles, and it should also follow some timeline, specific place or specific something, specific. Then clarification of basic terms and concepts. These are all, this especially migration and diaspora, you are doing interdisciplinary research. Though some of you may come from social science, some of you may come from humanities, some of you may come from even science. Okay, but since it is an interdisciplinary area of research, you should also think of communicating to other discipline people so that they should be familiar. That's why you should also think of peer group who will be evaluated. So be very careful. When you use some concept and this, you think them in front of you, whether they can understand or not. Okay. Relevance of terms and concepts, contextualization. Okay. You have to contextualize any concept and theories you are using. Okay. Then statement of research problem. This is also another important component while writing research proposal. Many have difficulties, especially while writing research problem. Okay, they don't know what is research problem actually. So many get confused. That's why, when you think of, you ask question, why, how, and all this, you will get some answer, and that will be shaping your research problem. Okay, for example, why particularly you see particular theme in diaspora movies, Bollywood movie projecting a particular kind of diasporic aspect, especially middle class. Why many of them they don't, bring subject like Kuli, subject like Kuli diaspora, the old diaspora. Is there any class power connection? You have to ask question. Okay. Then only you get very critical insight and critical answer, and that should be the basis of your research problem. For example, you ask why remittance is very successful in Kerala, why not it is working very good in some other places. You can compare also. So this kind of question will help you to be very critical of any issue, and that will be, create the base for your research problem. Then you have to also think about background to the research problem. Okay, contextualization, broad vision, need for this research, all those things you explain. And then the next one is very important because many of you, when you start research, actually reading helps you a lot. Same area, you read lots of material, you know what kind of research have already been done, what is, what is not being done, and you may get lots of insight, how they have done research, how a field is approached, what kind of, research methodology is very appropriate, and you will also find maybe these are the studies, already plenty of studies are done, these are the gap I should find. So all those things will help when you review literature. Then hypothesis. Hypothesis is actually many research, science it is very famous, but in social science many places they keep, many places they don't keep. But hypothesis is like you do some assumption about it's very much linked to your objective only, but you make some assumption whether it may happen after you complete your research or it may not happen. Okay, so you nullify that. Then research design and methodology. Okay, this is the backbone of any research proposal. You prepare the strategy, you prepare, how much you should study, sampling, what kind of methodology, what is the control group, everything you plan here, and that is actually core of any research. And this is, if you do this successfully, your research actually it is almost half done, because you know how to, systematically approach the problem. You don't lose your time, waste your money or anything. So this is very important component. That's why you should devote some time on this. Okay. Then delineation of research, limitation, delimitation, all we, see. Limitation is what will not be covered. Okay. Delimitation is why you have chosen certain area, what will be covered. Okay. So these are almost similar type, but it's very important because sometimes you take more than what you can chew. Okay. And that you cannot actually do in a time, specified time, and you cannot have resource. So you have to limit the thing. Okay. So then you talk about significance of your research, especially research. When you talk, we in academic we don't bother about many things, but when you think about government and industry, it has a specific condition also for any research. What to actually, what should be the outcome? Because they don't give you money just like that. So they have some kinds of, condition attached to that, whether this research will be useful for industry. For example, industry research, you are very familiar, consumer research and all. Whether your research will influence consumer behavior, what kind of product actually is very much, mm, very much appreciated by which age group, which community, all these things. Sometimes, your research will help in this. And certain kind of, thing, like certain kind of product, if the color is red, many people don't like that, color is this, all those things matter, size, color, culture, everything matter, So that's why consumer behavior research and all these are very important, and they are also conditioned. But if industry paying money, you have to do certain thing that suit them. So then the last component is references. When you read any article, you go to the last component that is called reference, and there are variety of systematic approach style like APA, MLA, Chicago. These are three major, uniform style. If you follow anyone, just follow that throughout. So this is the thing I just wanted to say. Maybe the last component, 1 page or half page, you have to write in the project executive summary, so that many people, they don't have time to go through entire 40 pages, 50 pages of your report. So they prefer what is in nutshell, they can get sense. So that's why executive summary also people keep. Okay. So I'll stop here because these are all many things more in detail. So you may not be requiring that. One component I can, maybe the plagiarism. Don't copy anything. If you are writing from some sources, you have to give quote, okay, in the reference. So this is very important because that is a kind of academic crime actually. It is very much, sometimes very bad for academics, ethical point of view. So you should avoid that. Then all these things is very important. Flow of your, paragraph, page number, references, citation. Okay, all these are very important. Then when you, these are all research papers. So research, I think all are over now. When you write anything, any synopsis for PG diploma in migration diaspora, just in 2 pages, try to give all those titles, little background, objectives, methodology, and why this research were initiating, at least this much. And reference and all, maybe 1 or 2 you give in 2 pages, this is only possible. and you can send to me for approval. So this is I wanted to say, because many get confused and they don't know how to write, whom to write, all those things. So I thought I'll explain those things. Okay. Then the second phase, after you get approval, the report, field work, report writing, that I gave you the structure, but that is when you go actually, when you do the actual work, you will know. Okay. That time also, if you need any support, I'll give you. So any question from you, please, ask. Shadlin, Nirmal, Vijaya. Vijaya also there, I think, join.
So I have a few questions.
Huh.
So first, is there any deadline in place for the submission of the abstract, the proposal, and the final project? Could you please let us know about the
Yes,
deadline?
deadline actually, if you are writing term end exam in December, you should all submit by September end. So for September end, you should start right now. Okay. Once you get approval, you need 1-2 months to write the report. So keep 1.5 months, 2 months from synopsis to submission. So do all this in advance so that you will not get pressure. If you cross the line, there is no harm actually. It may go to next semester. Okay, but you want to complete in time, then you have to follow certain time limit so that it will be rewarding for you. You timely you complete everything.
So, and for the ones who are appearing for the June term end examinations, when is the deadline for them? Because we have two or
You
three of us are appearing for the exams in June.
so what you do? Don't worry. You send the synopsis first, take approval, and simultaneously write exam as this also. It may delay for 1 month. As soon as you submit, it may take 1 month, 2 months for evaluation. Then that 2 months will be delayed. That is not a problem.
All right, sir. So also there was this question of making this the PG diploma course into an MA course. I think you had mentioned it in one of the earlier
Yes, yes.
sessions. So
You
when do we start the process for that?
once you complete, you will be eligible from January 2024. Okay, because first year is over for you. Okay, January will come another 5-6 months. You will get January. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So usually for all people, because since January 2023, we started MA, after 1 year only, your course will be over, first year course. Okay.
All right.
So first year already you completed. So you have to wait till January. So, and maybe you have to complete another 8 credit course, because the new education policy, MA program is 80 credits. Earlier it was 32, 64. Okay. Now it is 80 credits. So you have to add another 8 credits in the while taking admission. So these are all some, extra thing you have to do.
Right,
Okay.
so another question, last question. So if you're choosing a topic from literature, say the poetry of a certain diaspora, so what topics are expected out of us? So for example, can we do a literary analysis? Like, is that acceptable? Or what is the acceptable
Yes, yes, yes.
scope of topics?
When you do research to find something unique, I cannot just rewrite the thing what they have written. For example, talk about novels of V.S. Naipaul. Okay, you find certain themes. What is what kind of character he has, diasporic character in that. What is the his so many aspects in each of his novel. You find some character. You find some character which is a major character in that, and analyze all around that character. That is one thing. Then, if we are talking about poetry, there are poetic, poetry like Satendra Nandan and so many, literary people are there from Fiji, from Malaysia, and all. diaspora poets are there. You can talk about how the diaspora, nostalgia and all are reflected in their poetry, bring some issue. Within that, there will be some issue. So, or you can compare also, like you take one or two poet from, new diaspora, like those are in USA and all. Hmm. Take some diaspora people from old diaspora. Just compare their theme, compare their diasporic aspect and all this you can do. There are several way, combination permutation you can do, and several issues are there. Gender aspect also you can take. Okay, the old diaspora, you see there are different composition of diasporic community. You find different kind of approach to caste system, to the community, to the regions. Okay, many have gone from Bhojpuri mass scale to Mauritius and all. There will be more, their theme will be more related to Bhojpuri aspect of their culinary, their culture, their language. But when you talk about people going to US and all, the writings, the themes will be different. You find so many ways, and if you want to discuss, I will be very happy. But certain things you just read and see how uniqueness you find, some kind of uniqueness, and maybe you can read some of the thesis also. Okay, already published thesis. So
So where do we access those theses?
There are in India you find that Shodhganga is a portal where all theses are there. Internationally there will be, I think there are dissertation. You just type, it was there. I forgot.
No, sir, I was actually mentioning about the thesis written by previous IGNOU students, if we could access those just to get an idea.
Shodhganga you find within
Okay.
India, and abroad I think there are theses. Something you search will find. Okay. Otherwise, some library specific you search, you'll get.
Right, sir. So also 1,000 to 1,500 words, is that sufficient for the proposal?
Proposal sufficient, 1,000. But report you try to write around 40 to 50 pages.
40 to 50. So that would be around 9,000 to 10,000 pages.
Yes.
Sorry, words. 9,000 to 10,000 words.
If you do little more, it will be good for you. But this is enough, 40 to 50 pages.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What you are doing? Literature, huh?
Yes, sir, literature.
MA now doing or what?
I just completed my master's in literature.
Okay. So you have lots of knowledge in this point.
Yes, sir. I just completed my dissertation. So
good. Any support you can always ask me. Okay.
Sure, sir.
I did my graduation in English literature.
Okay, sir.
So after that I changed to sociology, but I have some idea. Maybe that time actually we didn't study diasporic novel or poem.
Right,
We
sir.
had only Western, literature, Shakespeare, Thomas Hardy, and all this.
Right.
But now we are familiar with diasporic literature. Okay.
Yes, sir. We also had a paper in our masters, which is why I opted for this, because it was very interesting.
Yes. No, you should do all. This is a specialized area. You should get into that, and if you enjoy this area, it will be good. Rather than taking a degree in PhD diploma, masters, and all, you should get involved and enjoy it. Okay.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anything, Nirmal, Vijaya?
Good afternoon, sir. Hope all are fine.
Yes, Vijaya.
Well, sir, I joined in between the class, so I did not listen the whole session. In this session, I just want to tell something because I'm working in a research center. So what I have understood with this digital world is whatever the hard work we are doing, the digital robbers, we can say, they're easily, they're just taking away our hard work. So my advice to all in the group, don't share anything through your emails or anything through technology. Nothing. Just take the printouts or handwritten, and I think post is the best thing, or handovering by hand is the best thing. Even the corrections, they are easily hacking our computers and phones. So even if you
But,
keep in computers also, it is not safe. And we are
yeah,
doing so much of hard work, and end of the day, your all the data is lost, or your research work is stolen by somebody. It is really painful, sir.
no, Vijay, I
So-
tell you, we should not too much fear also, because this is the age, this risk is we have to face and overcome or whatever. I think if we go to traditional way, it will also have some kinds of problem. So I feel we have to balance things, you know. If we are afraid too much, we cannot do many things, because we see a lot of things are becoming technology driven. You know, now everything almost. If we are afraid, we cannot do. Little problem will be there, but we have to always think of, you know, how very securely we should do. Think of, you know, how secure you are. Some aspect which you mentioned, we should not share with unwanted people who may use your data research idea, but within certain pure circle you do. And if you're a good researcher, actually your idea, somebody, I don't think they'll steal that. You know, to be a thief also, they have to have some talent. Okay. So just like that, somebody cannot publish your thing. I think
No, I'm not saying that somebody will steal the idea. Stealing idea is okay, no problem, because they will be working on it, and that will improve. Maybe they can do the better things. What I'm saying, this cyber people, they are just stealing and then they're selling it, sir. That's the worst part.
actually we are exposed in many other way. Even the talk we are doing also, the data is in the what is called what is now they call um, the deep something they call this um, there is a term used. It will go to all the things it's there, it's stored there. So mobile,
Uh,
what I'm talking,
you're saying about the Google,
no, anything we are doing online.
right? Uh-huh.
Okay, it is all there in the, what is the term I forgotten. So it is stored. So anybody with a high level of intelligence, they can misuse also. So if you are afraid, we cannot even walk in 1 foot also. If
Sir, what we are doing is just, we are students, we are working on our projects or anything. It's very light things we are doing. We are just in an initial stage to understand our education, the further education. But researchers like you, and there are many, so they are facing the huge problem, right? So this should not happen. This is what maybe in our group, we may not have the students like me or others. There are researchers also, so they have to be careful with it.
I agree to your ideas. These are all risky side, but we have to see how to balance. Because now everything is online now. We have risky, sometimes your everything will be, you know, spam, hijacked and everything happening. One of my email, I think 10 years back, it is gone, I couldn't open. So I lost that email. Something happened like this. So, okay, anything else, Nirmal? Vijay, you're satisfied? I think.
Done, sir, please.
Okay, how is your daughter? She's doing well.
My daughter?
Hmm?